Right to the Eastern Cape now, where motorists are being urged to avoid using the Tsomo Junction between Engcobo and Cofimvaba in the Eastern Cape and to use alternative routes. This after persistent rain in the province caused a small bridge to partially collapse and the road to sag. For more on this, we are joined by Unathi Binqose from the Eastern Cape Department of Transport. So thank you very much for your time here on All Angles. Now, first of all, as this was happening in the Eastern Cape, were there any casualties or damage to people's property?
Thankfully not on the roads. There was no damage or any casualties on the roads, and we're thankful for that because this happened under the cover of darkness. It happened at around midnight last night, and we are grateful that there was no damage. However, our law enforcement officers are on the ground and they responded almost immediately as soon as that was brought to their attention, and that road was cordoned off and traffic was diverted to alternative routes.
And of course the road, I believe, has been closed off to traffic.
It certainly is, and it will remain that way until we get an advice from someone. And we're grateful to them in that they managed to send their technicians as quick as possible. And as I'm talking to you now, they are on the ground assessing the damage, and they're of course looking at alternatives because we understand that our alternative routes are quite long and they will take a bit more out of the pockets of our motorists, and we don't want that happening. So we'll be looking at ways to find an alternative route because that bridge that has been damaged there is not a major route, and we believe it's not a major bridge rather, and we believe that we can make a temporary bridge right next to it in no time, so that our motorists can find it easy to get to their destinations. And you have rightly, in fact, mentioned in your introduction that is the route that is used by a lot of people who are coming from Tata, who will be going back to the Western Cape for work within the next couple of days.
Mr. Binqose, so much damage on the road. How can it, be damaged that much? What's it caused by? Did government or SANRAL not use appropriate material to build this road?
It certainly is a combination of factors coming together, and one that stands out at the moment has got to be rain. I mean, people of the Eastern Cape and the country at large will probably agree with me that the province of the Eastern Cape has been soaked in rain for the past 3 to 4 weeks, and it's been raining persistently with very little to no breaks at all. And the soil is so saturated that infrastructure that is old as that stretch of the road is beginning to the weather conditions are beginning to take their toll on them. That is why we are seeing this. And of course, a lot of the infrastructural composition of that road, a report on that is going to come out from the assessment that are being done by our colleagues at SANRAL. But that road has really stood the test of time. It's been there since I was born. I mean, I'm approaching the age of 40 now, and that road has been standing. So the elements were bound to catch up with it, and unfortunately they have in this instance. But we have all the trust from SANRAL and the Eastern Cape Department of Transport that they will find a way to fix that road as soon as possible. And we want to reiterate our apology to road users for the inconvenience that has caused to them.
Well, you say the road has been up for quite some time, ever since you were also born. Why is government reactionary? Why didn't you upgrade that road before this happened? I mean, imagine if there was a tragedy that occurred due to what happened on that road.
My sister, there are quite a number of upgrades that are taking place in the Eastern Cape. The R61 between King Williamstown and Fort Beaufort is another, and various stretches across the N2. So we are working really hard in improving the roads. But of course, this one was also a priority, but we hadn't reached that particular stretch of the road. But there are construction that is taking place on the R61 in various sections within that road. But of course, this incident will be a catalyst for us to move with speed in paying a lot more attention in that one. But I want to assure you and the people of South Africa that there is a lot that is being done in the Eastern Cape. It's so unfortunate that this incident has happened in this particular stretch of the road, and they will use it as a catalyst to move with speed in attending to this particular stretch of the road.
And looking at the fact that you're still assessing, I know that you said your colleagues at SANRAL will still be assessing. How long are they saying this road closure will be in place?
For as long as it is necessary. That road closure is mainly for the safety of road users. But of course, ideally, we wanted to have it closed for a long time. I'm sure we'll be back with another statement, and we'll avail ourselves for another interview to report back to you as to what the assessment is and how long they think it will take before that road is reopened. It is in the interest of us as the province of eNCA to have that road reopened because we know its importance, particularly for our migrant workers. So we'll work around the clock and we'll do everything we can to have it reopened. But unfortunately, I can't commit on the time frames at the moment, but I'm sure that will be met no later than today.
All right, Unathi Binqose from the Transport Department in the Eastern Cape, thank you very much for speaking to us on All Angles.